To the northeast of Balboa Park's Air and Space Museum in the Pan American Plaza is the newly opened Comic-Con Museum. Downtown San Diego has hosted the Comic-Con International Convention since 1970 and has attracted fans from around the world. The Comic-Con Museum opened its doors at the end of 2021 to welcome guests year-round and to give them a flavor of what Comic-Con is all about. As of early 2022, it has only been open for a few months and has plenty of room to expand over time. These cardboard superheroes were made by Connor and Bauer Lee, two brothers who started creating when they were kids and now as teenagers currently run a non-profit that provides workshops to promote the arts. They've created WALL-E, shields of Captain America and Wonder Woman, along with her outfit complete with Lasso of Truth, Black Manta wielding a mace and chain, and Iron Man's larger-than-life Hulkbuster armor. Welcome to Riverdale, a typical teenage town. Archie Comics was founded over 80 years ago and portrays the teenage life of Archie Andrews and his friends. Archie Comics started in the 1940s and has been appreciated by a wide audience. It spans different genres like romance, horror, adventure, superhero fiction, and comedy. It has spun off other characters, each with their own separate storylines. Some of these include titles like Jughead, Betty and Me, Archie's Joke Book, Laugh, and Betty and Veronica. Pop's Chocolate Shop has been incorporated into the Comic-Con Museum to immerse guests in the comic and to give them a sense of what it was like to live in the Archie universe. Archie's odd and eccentric pal Jughead had many comics of his own and even appeared as a superhero in the Captain Hero series, where he seemed to always have the right superpower or gadget needed to save the day. The all-girl rock band Josie and the Pussycats also went to Riverdale High. They had their own Saturday morning cartoon in the 1970s. Sabrina the Teenage Witch is another character in the Archie universe. She lives in Greendale, somewhere near Riverdale, where Archie Andrews is from. Following her debut in Archie Comics in 1962, she had many adaptations, including 3 animated shows, a live-action series on Netflix, as well as a TV movie and series. Melissa Joan Hart played Sabrina on TV from 1996 to 2003. Charles Addams was a cartoonist for The New Yorker. He created characters that would later become the Addams Family. Alien Rushmore from 1969 gives us a peek into his sense of humor. With all the sun on Easter Island, why not wear sunglasses? This artgoer notices a piece of art in the palm of his hand, the Dolly watch. The skier looks back at puzzling ski trails around the tree. American Gothic skiers. 1238 to Bridgeport shows a typical train car, a man getting his ticket punched. But then Uncle Fester and a box with 4 holes. Remember all the hassle of carving a pumpkin for Halloween? The self-carved pumpkin is for you. Time for a bigger bird feeder. Here's Noah's Ark in the Great Flood, as we pull back, we get answers to our questions about unicorns. Charles Addams married 3 times. Each time his bride resembled his Morticia character. Addams appreciated attention from the Addams Family TV shows and movies, but in his opinion they were less evil than in his cartoons. Here is the last one with merry carolers singing in the winter. Way at the top of the Addams Family mansion, the title of the drawing, Boiling Oil. During the COVID-19 pandemic, people became more isolated, and kids in particular needed a way to express themselves and take care of their mental well-being. Out of the Darkness is an exhibit which conveys their inner thoughts and life experiences to cope during this trying time. A Reason to Survive, or ARTS, is a non-profit that helps youth to build confidence, compassion, and courage through creativity. By communicating through words, drawings, and color, kids could help themselves and others who shared the same thoughts. In another exhibit, excerpts of a Pan-American plane crash from 1947. It recounts a true story. 14 people died. One of the co-pilots with 2 broken ribs ran back into the burning plane to rescue others. He took charge and formed 2 search parties in the Syrian desert and found a village with a radio. The 22 survivors were finally rescued. The co-pilot was changed by the events of the crash. Cartoonist Matthew Inman writes, "After that, he didn't want to be a pilot anymore. He wanted to do something different with his life. He resigned from Pan Am to pursue a career in writing and ultimately television. His name was Gene Roddenberry, and he created Star Trek." Here's a photo next to the actual Lexowriter word processor used by Roddenberry to write scripts for Star Trek: The Next Generation. There's a table that displays Roddenberry's speech and letters of correspondence, a request for a typewriter, and Roddenberry's birth certificate. Ideas and drawings. Even lyrics to the Star Trek theme song, written by Roddenberry himself. Gene Roddenberry's personal Revere 8mm projector. He used it to screen Star Trek episodes at home. His son recalls watching them on the white wall of the bathroom with his father. The creator of Star Trek has his own action figure. Here he is with Captain James T. Kirk. The Comic-Con Museum has a comprehensive chart listing all the different Star Trek TV series across the top. The current 13 films produced by Paramount Pictures are listed on the bottom. The center has a timeline which highlights key episodes, movies, and events in the Star Trek universe. Here's a lone captain's chair that appears to be from the USS Protostar of Star Trek Prodigy. More familiar to fans of the original series is Captain Kirk's chair with all its buttons and controls. Guests are welcome to sit and take photos on the bridge of the USS Enterprise. A giant Vulcan hand greets us in the exhibit. Leonard Nimoy wanted to have a greeting for his character, Mr. Spock, to salute other Vulcans. As a child, Nimoy was told to avert his eyes during a Jewish prayer ceremony. He looked, instead, and saw the physical representation of the Hebrew letter Shin. The rest is history, as they say. Of note, William Shatner couldn't form his hand to make the greeting and required a fishing line to bind his ring finger and pinky together. The first aliens ever encountered on Star Trek were the Talosians. They were technologically advanced until a nuclear war killed most of their species and left their planet uninhabitable, a dark warning for us humans. Here is a life-size figure of a Gorn. Humanoid in body and reptilian in looks, the Gorn captain fought against Captain Kirk on a desert wasteland in the episode entitled Arena. Here is the actual upper suit worn by Nichelle Nichols, who played Commander Uhura in the Wrath of Khan movie. This suit was used on-screen by the body double for Dr. Beverly Crusher on Star Trek The Next Generation. There's also several dresses and outfits on display worn on Star Trek shows, including this one worn by Assault Vampire from planet M113. The Cosplay Creators Lab is designed to help those in the community to bring their costume ideas to life. The museum is currently seeking support to expand it. Part of the vision involves using a 3D printer to create masks, items, and parts for costume and prop usage. If you've attended San Diego's Comic-Con, you'll know that cosplay creators use sewing, metalwork, casting, mechanical and electrical designs to build their cosplay outfit creations. The attention to detail and passion for what they do can certainly be appreciated by fans of all ages. As an example of what can be done, Mike Biasi created this cosplay character, Grom Mash Hellscream. Even the axe looks real, and the figure like a painted statue. But it is, in fact, a fully wearable costume. The cosplay for Lady Vaj, similar to Medusa in appearance. Doctor Strange and Batgirl. Superman and Captain America. Supergirl with her family alongside Hawkman's armor. This dark-robed statue stands on the lower level of the Comic-Con Museum. It's signed by Todd McFarlane. Batman. Don't be surprised to see a free mini arcade in the museum. The Pac-Man exhibit explores the legacy of the biggest video game from 1980. There are design notes from Namco of Japan, showing the names of the characters and how they appear down to the pixel. Did you know that Pac-Man's shape emerged from the outline of a pizza minus one slice? The original game in Japan was called Puckman. Game developers had to change the name for US release, as someone could easily vandalize it by changing the first letter from P to F. The ghosts were created with different personalities, like Chaser, Ambusher, or Whimsical, that determined how they moved about the maze. Over the years, Pac-Man produced a lot of merchandise, like lunch pails, thermoses, books, cartridges, card games, toys, and products based on the Pac-Man cartoon. Here's a small upright version of the Pac-Man arcade cabinet. They have an LP record and CD of Pac-Man Fever, the hit single by Buckner and Garcia. In the 1980s, Fraggle Rock was a popular children's show using Jim Henson's Muppets. Nearly 40 years later, it's coming back in a reboot called Back to the Rock. The main character Gobo is with his friends on new adventures that expand the original series from so many years ago. The Comic-Con Museum also has a 4K video theater that may be used for movie screenings, events, and presentations. Comic-Con's original mascot was a toucan bird who greets us at the front door. In 1995, it was switched to the Comic-Con Eye logo. The Comic-Con Museum has unlimited potential to uplift our imaginations. Please support this channel. Thanks for watching San Diego Review.